Hello and welcome to Motorcult episode 37. I'm Eric Berger, joined as always by my co-host Ryan Siniski. Hello.
Hello there,
Are you having heat stroke like I am?
dude. I'm, yeah, just
Okay.
about.
Yeah, it's not even that hot outside right
No,
now.
it's
like
like
80 something.
No, it's about 92.
Oh,
but
really?
It's here. Let me look at my weather app on my
My Apple Watch says
Samsung.
87, but that's St. Paul.
My cell phone here, and I'm gonna look it up. Yeah, it's just really high humidity. It looks like. Yeah, it's actually right now it says 54. It cannot be right.
The thermostat downstairs says 83 in here.
No, 54% humidity. It cannot be right. I think also the smoke from those Canadian wildfires is probably doing something.
Damn Canadians.
Too.
Yeah, my watch says 86, but my cell phone says 93. So
Yeah, it's all the Canadian
We'll
wildfires.
just go with the highest number.
Yeah,
it's
but
probably
it's horrible.
93.
That's what it is.
And it's a swimming pool of humidity.
Yes, it is. And smoke.
And
which
I haven't noticed the smoke.
You do if you start like actually doing stuff outside.
Oh.
Yeah, if you're
Maybe
like,
I should have a fire tonight to commemorate the wildfires.
Let's not.
let's do it.
Jana, you're not right.
Well, do you know what can fix that horrible heat?
This beer.
Quenching it with beer.
Yeah, I'm just drinking our grain belt. Nothing special.
I bought a shitload of grain belt, so we're just keeping on drinking that. And that was the sound of one opening, and now we're gonna have some.
Oh, that's actually quite refreshing.
I do like this beer.
Yes.
It's quite nice.
So, speaking of quite nice and beer,
Yes.
Cars and Crafts was last week.
Yep.
That was pretty fun.
That was when I was in Brainerd, right?
Yes.
Okay,
You were not there.
Correct.
It was really good.
Lots of great events. So.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff happened last weekend.
What was the highlight of the show turnout?
I think
for you?
for me personally, I have coverage of it on the Motorcult blog, which is
nice.
still in beta.
Sure.
I don't have like the actual. I've not put like it public or anything, but you can go like motorcultnet.wordpress.com.
Yeah, for the people listening, I have been putting the private link in the SoundCloud, which translates to iTunes, and on the YouTube upload as well.
Cool.
So they
All
should be
right.
able to look in the descriptions and find it there.
Yeah. So if you go on there, you'll see it. It will be dropping tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. And you guys can. It'll be on the Motorcult Facebook, a direct link to it, so you can check it out there. But no, it was a really cool event. Like I mentioned in the actual blog post, is Tony. This guy named Tony, who's got a really gorgeous EF Civic sedan.
Mm-hmm.
That car won the show for me. And the reason for that is that car is probably in the best condition of any car in the show, including like GTRs and like Lamborghinis and stuff. Like,
how many miles are on it?
I didn't look, but it's. I mean,
is it just a left-hand drive EG
yeah,
sedan?
no EF.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry,
EF. No, it is. It's just an American EF sedan. It's the EX trim level, which is kind of nice because it's got the 4-port fuel injection.
Nice.
He's got a single overhead cam CC.
I should pull up a photo.
Engine swap. No, his car is actually very well put together.
Yeah,
I mean,
seeing one of those in good condition, I haven't basically seen that since
yeah, like
1994.
yeah, it's been a long time. I mean, the only thing like outside of like California, like this one actually might like be up there with some like really good California
that's a YouTube
builds.
clip. Damn it. Image search needs.
But
to
no,
be
I mean
better.
honestly, the only issue I could find on his car is he has a little bit of wear in the side bolster on the driver's side seat.
You need to tell him to step his game up.
Yeah, I know. He really needs to go to top stitch and
It
get
is-
his interior reupholstered.
It's really hard to find a picture of a stock one.
There's a blue one right there. I mean,
That's not
pretty
that
What about
stock.
that white stock one?
Oh,
right
here
there?
we go. No, here we go.
That's the basic trim level with the unpainted bumpers.
Yeah, I know
the
it's not
DX,
an
but
EX,
still,
but-
yeah, you get an idea for how the car looks, like the actual aesthetic of the vehicle.
I don't know how I already forgot, but the internet is just a pile of shit here. Even though they completely redid it since we last talked to you guys.
It's still terrible.
Oh, at least he put some of those GSR wheels on it.
Yeah, those are GSR wheels.
Anyway, so that is the car we're talking about, that body style.
Yeah, that body style. It's not actually Tony, so that's like the
Right,
same
right.
body style.
Yep.
No, his car is really dope. There's some other cool, cars there. That there's a really awesome turbocharged GTO, the Holden Monaro.
Like a modern one?
Yeah,
Okay.
Holden Monaro GTO,
Yeah,
and then
nice.
this guy named Jose has this S14 with a 1 JZ swap with a 2 JZ bottom end.
Oh, okay.
That was actually really nice because
Now,
that one
school
is
me on that, right? Because the 1J heads are better than the 2J heads?
1J heads have a smart combustion chamber,
So higher
but the
compression.
1J engine itself is a 2.5 liter.
Right.
The 2J is a 3 liter.
Yep.
And it's just bored out. So
Yeah.
you don't have to deal with like really long stroke or anything. You just have large bore for high revving.
Right.
So
yeah, the piston velocity doesn't really change. It's
yeah,
just
it's a pretty cool build on Jose's car. So
nice.
those two cars that was my number 1 and 2.
I gotcha.
Yeah, you did Powercruise. That was out.
That event's great. I mean, as we talked about last week, I got in town just in the nick of time to go there for like the last half of Saturday and the first half of Sunday. But as soon as I pulled up through the gate, talked to the very smoking hot Australian chick, who of course has an accent, letting people in, the burnout competition was just starting. And the first cars to go were the ones that were shipped up from Australia by the Powercruise people. And man, everyone already knows this, but Australians bring the fucking party. Because, I mean, the first thing, it just, like, pulls up and, like, the thing's idling and it's just, rum.
What was it? Was it like
I have no idea.
like
It's a giant orange thing.
Holden Monaro or something?
No,
or
it
like
was
a
really
Ford
old.
Falcon?
No, it wasn't that. I don't think it was that. It was like a Valiant or something, but it just, I mean, the lope on this thing was crazy. I'm actually going to try to pull
all
up.
of the
I took a couple of videos, but yeah, so the Aussies went first with their like 2,000 horsepower, whatever the hell cars. And just, I mean, they just blew a set of tires down to the rim. And then also they kept going once they hit the rim because they're Australian.
Yeah, of course.
But they got through a set of tires in like a minute, probably less. And it just like, I'm just like, oh my God. And these are like tubbed out cars that are running street wheels. So they're inset super
like
far. It just looks like they're on stilts.
Look hilarious.
And then the American muscle cars come up for burnouts after that. And the engines just sound so lazy because they're only revving to like 5-6 grand. And I mean, these Australian cars must have just like billet big blocks.
They're just
with
like
blowers on them.
They're built for like doing burnouts and only burnouts.
Exactly. And I mean, these people, like I said, they bring the party. So
well, not only that, it's also like this is the best of Australia. Like these are the ones we ship around the world. Like they're not going to ship around like Joe Schmo's car.
Right. It's expensive to ship a car from Australia. And
so
they
like
ship
these
like
are
8 of
like
them.
the best.
Correct.
The best.
So I don't even know if the audio actually works from YouTube.
Think I can tell you from here. I'm pretty sure that's a Monaro.
Well, that's the orange one. I'm trying to pull it up right here because when that guy was doing his burnouts, the tire actually came off of the wheel.
That is a Monaro.
Okay. Yeah. Then there's like little hatchback things that they drive too that aren't RX3s. They're not the
Mazda GLCs.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't really know exactly what it was, but
the Mazda GLC. That's that one where we were talking about like what car would you restore to do like a Rust mod?
Yeah.
Or like an OEM plus. I said the Mazda GLC was right up there for me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a very common car for burnout contests. And
I mean, whatever it was. I mean, this thing had an engine that had no business being in it. Oh, sorry, I've got ads.
More of Cleveland. No.
But anyway, we'll let that kind of play while we're talking about it. But no, the burnout competition was great. I didn't actually stay for the season.
Oh, it's the Corolla.
That's a Corolla,
yeah.
Oh my god. Was a Corolla.
K70 Corolla.
But yeah, I mean these people are insane. So I didn't, like I said, I didn't go for any of the cruising, which was what you actually pay to go for. But I stayed for the burnout competition, and then things just got super rowdy, and I had a close pallet fight, like always.
Yeah.
It was a good time. I mean, I still don't know if I like that event more or less than Proving Grounds. That was shit, right?
You know, everybody I've heard except for you has said that it is better than Proving Grounds. That Proving Grounds is a trashier version. I don't go different. I don't go to Proving Grounds to race. I go there to like.
The burnout competition definitely better at
Oh
Powercruise.
yeah, definitely.
But everything else, honestly, I think I see a higher caliber of car in Proving Grounds.
No way, really?
I think so.
Wow,
but
that's
I mean,
shocking.
there was also a drift event held in Wisconsin.
That's
the
probably
same time
probably
this was going on, so all the drift metal was not there.
And most of those really nice cars for Proving Grounds are drift cars.
Right.
So, no, my roommate was telling me he's got that his yellow Colt.
Yep, I saw it up there.
And I guess he was on the road course the whole weekend, and he took Hep from Pristine Detail.
He was up there drifting.
Yeah, he hit his car against the wall.
Did he?
Yeah. Oh. He's gonna be on the next one. So he's gonna next week, and we'll talk
Whoops.
No, he went out. Yeah, he went on a ride with Miguel, and Miguel's got like just finished time his car for car and it was actually like really quick, like in the corners. And he had like basically glorified whatever the street titles on it, and he was, you know, he's losing Maseratis before guys and stuff.
Well, I'll take away from nothing, I imagine.
Yeah,
so.
and plus it's all like well set up suspension, so he was able to like blast away from cars in the corners, and they catch up to him on the straight away. And then I guess there was a Maserati Quattroporte that just could not get around him, and it was just ass man. It was pretty fun. So
I do kind of like going down the herd.
because I guess like what happened, the Maserati like came in until cut him, like just like swooped in, just dive bombed him, cut him off right before a corner.
Mm-hmm.
And Miguel's like, this guy doesn't know what brake fade is. And he's like,
Just gets out of his way.
yeah, but no, the thing is the Maserati was in front of him, and Miguel kept getting on his bumper, like probably within like a couple of inches of his bumper
That seems
in the
safe.
corners, and then the Maserati would barely get away from him and straight away, and they go right back to having this Colt on his bumper. Which is
Like,
hilarious.
what the hell is this thing?
Oh, yeah, you know the bro in the Maserati is just having a horrible time.
Why does he have 2 shift knobs?
Hey, speaking of Maserati,
Uh-huh.
I got to see a Maserati going at 90 on 394.
Allegedly.
No, like actually, like the guy got arrested
okay.
going 90 on 394 at like 6 o'clock. Rear-ended a Hyundai
Oh.
that burst into flames. Everybody's okay,
Okay.
but rear-ended a Hyundai and then like creamed the wall a quarter mile further down the road.
Oh.
Yeah, I had to sit in traffic, and I'm like, I was sitting there in traffic because I don't know if you're ever sitting in gridlock on the highway. You're like,
Sometimes.
you're either like, I want to get something for
Right.
this gridlock.
You're invested in the
like,
traffic
I'm
now?
invested in this.
Yeah.
I want to see a Maserati just get creamed. I was just thinking that to myself, and I pulled up past the crash, and there was a Maserati just put into the wall. And it was pretty funny because
Good.
this guy for the last I've seen him like time every now and then if I leave at exactly the right time from work, and yeah, he's always driving like a dickhead down 394, and he finally
Same dude.
yeah, same guy. It was a blue Maserati. Yeah, I noticed the car, but no, he was getting put into the police car. It was fun.
Excellent.
Yes, that's
Well,
what
good.
he
I'm glad he
deserves.
got his freaking comeuppance.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
I like driving quickly too, but I don't do that in
you.
traffic.
You don't do that at that time of day.
No.
Like I'm
People are
like
trying to go to
there is a time to go 90 down 394, and it's
Exactly.
called 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, or anytime there's actually room to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
not
traffic's
like
not one of those times.
no, like if there's like more than one car in every lane,
Yeah.
and they're less than a quarter mile apart from each other,
Yeah.
like that's not a time to
You shouldn't even want to or be
at
tempted
that point.
to. At
Yeah,
that point.
no, because like not only that, you're now you ruin like your car. Like you could hurt or potentially kill someone. And thankfully, everybody in the Hyundai was okay, but this Maserati driver, I have zero love for that guy. That guy drives like a dick all the time.
Well, I'm glad that you have seen him drive that shitty before.
And then it finally happens.
And like you're legitimately waiting in this unknown gridlock, and you come up upon this guy
just
that
like,
you're just
yes!
like hoping, completely unrelated, sorta, that has been put into a wall, basically.
like I time my drive home by like what NPR shows on. I start my
Okay.
commute home getting the tail end of All Things Considered. I am at Jana's house by
So
the
you're
end
a
of
creature of habit, like
Yeah.
I am.
I get to Jana's house by the end of Marketplace, and I want to be at home before the world is done.
Dude,
And I was like in traffic on 394 during the world, so I was pissed.
you are never gonna need like Metamucil as an old man. You're just gonna be like super regular.
I know.
Just like my body's just resisting that.
Anyway,
fuck's sake.
enough about this Maserati.
Oh my god.
Hey, tell me about if BMW has anything cool coming out.
Wow, nice segue. So we actually have gotten we've talked a couple weeks in a row about that new Supra. We were talking about it during the Goodwood Festival of Speed. That's going to be a co-developed vehicle with BMW. It's going to be a platform share with the Z4. We had never seen anything, even a disguised Z4 before, but we had seen the Supra.
Yeah.
So some photos of the Z4 actually just got leaked, and I'll bring it back up into the feed here. This is the G29 Z4. I think the back looks okay. I think the side looks okay. I think the front looks freaking terrible.
The top one is the production.
These are all production.
Because that top one looks like a Fiata.
It doesn't though, because the grills look so terrible.
No, I mean the headlights. Look at them.
Yes. Yep.
Why do they have? What is this? Like the third generation Z4?
Yes. Yep.
Why don't they make a new one like a Z5? Because someone made one Z3.
I know.
I like the Z3.
You know, I'm kind of okay with that though, because the Z3 is way better.
Yeah,
I'm glad
you know,
they didn't sully
that is a good point. That's a very good point.
That's just like when they split the M4 off. I'm like, you know what? Fine. I hate that fucking thing.
It's like if like Lexus came out with another Lexus GS 300.
Right.
I'm like, I don't want that.
No, because you know what it's gonna be.
Because when I type
it's gonna be a
when
crossover.
when I type into Craigslist right now,
Yeah.
I get GS 300.
Right.
I get a 4-door sedan with a 2JZ engine. That's what I'm looking
Yeah.
for. If I get GS 300 now, it's be a 4-door sedan with some stupid V6. I don't want.
It'll be the 1.19 liter turbo 4 or whatever it is.
It's be stupid. Yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is actually kind of a good idea.
Yeah, it's fine. Anyway, this thing's ugly.
It really is, and it's automatic only, which gets
Yeah,
me.
and I don't know if they're all X-Drive or not. I don't think they all are, but it's still just.
Why would you have X-Drive in that?
I don't know. So anyway, people are retarded. That's all it is basically.
Well,
But anyway, we're talking about hardtop
the
ugly.
good news is that the Miata still exists. It's still rear-wheel drive.
And we'll
still
get a
comes with
Supra,
manual
which
transmission.
looks better, and we'll have the same drivetrain, which
You know,
is good.
my thing is that the Supra, I'm willing to give Toyota a pass in the fact it's got an automatic because so does the GTR and the NSX and
I'm
all those other
guessing-
competitors.
I'm guessing this will be auto only for the first year for BMW, but then
And
we're
then
getting a six-speed.
yeah, it's
That-
be
that
like
happens all the
what
time.
other car did that?
The Golf R did that. The
Did
Mark
Golf
7.
R? Oh, really?
The
Oh, that's
Jaguar
dumb.
F-Type did that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The F type.
Chevy SS did that.
And the Chevy. No, it's the SS. That's what we were talking about last time.
Yeah.
Where they did
It happens
that.
a lot because I think when they're federalizing a car, they can't ramp production enough or something or do enough testing to get the car to market in time and have both options. So they have one or the other.
They've had so much time.
I know. It's bullshit. It's a terrible excuse, but I think that's why they do it.
All right, so this is kind of like saying like, oh, we can't update our video game because our video game we don't have enough time. Whereas like you have like Rockstar Games, like every 5 to 10 years they make a new Grand Theft Auto game. It's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
It's they've got plenty of time. They're just
Exactly.
not allowing themselves time.
Exactly. The fault is 100% on them. There's no legitimate excuse.
Yeah, no, they are BMW right now is being the Call of Duty.
Especially because
cars.
they're planning. We talked about this last week, and especially with the M division, they were going to keep giving us manual transmissions because we are ordering 50. Sorry, that beer.
50% of them.
50% of M cars sold are 6 speeds. So, BMW still is one of the few companies that offers a good chunk of product
Yeah, with
a
a
manual. But they've been doing this shit forever. I mean, they just like, oh, the first ones coming to market are going to be all really high spec, whatever, all wheel drive automatic ones
so
because that's
dumb.
what sells.
Yeah, I mean it does sell because like most of your early adopters are.
No, because
You
the
know.
people that get on waiting lists, which they still do for non-M cars, they're not ordering automatics.
That's true. Actually, I would be curious to see what the breakdown of that is.
Me too. That'd be really cool to see.
Because
on waiting
I
list
feel like
stuff.
I feel like I think I agree with you, but like just like actual numbers.
Yeah, but making wild, sweeping general accusations.
Yeah,
is
no,
great.
that's what Motorcult is.
Yes.
Because the
If I
rest,
could fit that on the sticker, I would.
my entire life is being like very accurate with everything I do.
Yeah.
And, yeah, coming on here, I'm just be like, yeah, it sounds about right.
And, you know, most of the time, it's close enough.
And usually,
When we actually look it up.
To be honest, when I do make not everything's a
Our heart's in the right
generalization.
spot.
Yeah, and I do some research when I make a generalization, but we don't. Yeah, I do try to occasionally be scientific with some stuff here.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a precise art, but I think it works well what we do. So
Yes,
we're
yes,
gonna keep right on doing that.
I concur. Hey, and also speaking about precise art and
Yes.
sleeping generalizations,
Uh-huh.
I want to talk about the generalization I'm about to make, which is every single Minnesota Department of Transportation project right now is
Yeah.
happening on a route that I take. I think they're following my cell phone and figuring out how I get around in town. What are my normal routes? Because right now I've got no way to get to work.
After you tell your story, I have a gridlock story about MNDOT.
All right, yeah, you gotta tell me this after I'm done with this. But
Please,
all right,
yeah,
so I
please
live in
continue.
St. Louis Park.
Yes.
For those of you, that's a first ring, not from Minnesota. It's a first ring suburb of Minneapolis.
You got to equate it to what is it, Beverly Hills and Bel Air or whatever.
It is Beverly Hills to like I guess Santa Monica. 'Cause the one leads right into the
There
other.
you go. So you live in Santa Monica,
Yeah,
Minnesota,
basically. Yeah.
a suburb of Buffalo, Minneapolis.
Exactly. So, no, it's like my route to work. I've got two really good routes. The main street the main through street for all of Minneapolis
Yeah.
is Lake Street.
Yep.
That cuts through South Side town. Once it goes past Bede-Makaska, Lake Calhoun, if you're a racist, it splits into Excelsior, and then it splits into Highway 7 and finally Minnetonka Boulevard. Highway 7 and Minnetonka Boulevard are my two routes to get to Highway 100, which is my main artery to get to work. They started doing work on Highway 7 because that's a county-owned, no, it's a state-owned highway. So MNDOT started, because
Oh, yeah, it's not an interstate.
it's not.
Okay.
It's a state-owned, highway. It goes like across like 5 counties. So Highway 7 goes right past my house. I'm 2 blocks away from Highway 7. That's the easiest route to get to 100. I hate taking it because there's one light that's like a 10-minute dinner light if I like catch it at the right time, wrong time, I guess. But anyway,
I hate that kind of light.
they've been like Highway 7's been like one lane each direction for like a month now.
Why?
Because
That's
they're-
been under construction for the last decade.
I know it's never done. I don't understand. It's not really that high of a traffic flow.
I understand, like, they closed down the part by 100 when they were, like, making 100 over again.
Yeah, exactly.
Fine, but, like, that was done and it was open.
Yeah, exactly. But now they're retarring the road.
Retarring?
Retarring.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
sounds
I know,
funny.
right?
It's really close to something else.
But anyway, they're redoing the road, and like actually, that's why I was 5 minutes late to the podcast today because I had to take Highway 7 to get here. Anyway, so I've been taking Minnetonka because Minnetonka is a way better route. It's prettier. I've got trees to look at. I don't look at a bunch of highway barriers. Like in all honesty, even though I'm going 35 miles an hour allegedly versus 55 allegedly, somehow I get to Highway 100 2 minutes sooner on average.
It's probably because you're moving more of the time.
I think so. I think there's a bunch of lights, but
I like routes like
yeah,
that.
each light is like it's a red light for a minute at most. No, but then so I've been taking that. They closed that down. They put that down to one lane for both directions where you stop, wait for the other lane, and then they tell that lane to stop, and then you get like 20 cars past. And they did that like 6 times.
Who ever came up with that whole man with stop sign and radio thing?
I don't know. It's so annoying because now I've got no commute to work. It is just awful. So, yeah, that's in my commute. Finally, once I get through that, though,
Gross.
this all happened 2 weeks after they finished the 394 94 interchange.
Okay.
Where I had to drive through like northwest Minneapolis.
Jesus.
For those of you not from Minnesota, through Compton,
PJ's
to get
house.
to work. Yeah, or Piss Jug's house. So, like, I have to drive through that to get to work. It's just no good way for me to get to work. If I could remote commute, I would. So.
Yeah, I work at a job technically where I could remote into my desktop at work.
Yeah,
and
you're
work.
not that far away from your work.
I know,
either.
and
You're
nothing's
really
ever
not.
closed, and like I really should go to work because it's just easier for me to like keep the mindset separate and actually do work when I need to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But anyway, so tell me about your horrible commute problems.
Okay,
'Cause
so
I'm done venting. I just need people to know how much my life sucks right now, and has sucked for the last 4 months of my life.
I can
I'm
assure
sorry.
you that 100% of people that hear this feel bad for you.
Thank you, listeners.
Yep, there we got some.
You are all my children.
So that is really creepy. Anyway, so I was here, I think yesterday, maybe 2 days ago, just switching cars. No, it was Thursday. I was here on Thursday, switching cars and showing some Craigslist people the 330 downstairs.
Yeah.
So I brought God knows what here, and then I took Blue M3 home. Waze told me we're at the beginning of rush hour, so I was like, okay, well, don't take 494 all the way to 35E. Get off on 5 and take Shepherd Road, which is a little slower but much cooler river road.
That's the route I always take to your
Straight up.
house for Laserdisc movie night because
Right.
if it's
Do
it's gonna
not
take me forever.
Do it this
Why?
week.
Why?
I will tell you in a second. So I'm just like, that makes perfect sense. I'm going to get on Shepherd.
Yeah.
Flying down Shepherd. No problem. Till
Yeah.
I get a half mile from the left turn into downtown before there are any turns in the road. The road goes from 2 lanes each direction, divided, to one lane for everyone.
Oh, like me.
And I don't mean one lane
Each
out of
direction.
the 2 lanes. I mean it goes to 1 lane, and then you turn left through a light in gridlock 1 lane, and then you turn right through another light in more gridlock through 1 lane, which merges with another single lane to become 1 lane once you get by the Science Museum.
I think probably the best thing I ever did for myself was not go Waste Just movie night this weekend or this week.
Yeah,
that was
you take that
would've been
route,
horrible.
dude. This 40-minute drive took me an hour and 50 minutes.
Yeah, because I was already like dead on Thursday. I was just ready to go to sleep forever.
So yeah, that was horrible.
That would have been the worst.
I messaged Scott when I was sitting in gridlock. I'm like, I am glad I left extra time. He's like, why? I'm like, I'm stopped on Shepherd for like 40 minutes. Like, oh yeah, a train derailed and dumped like 17,000 gallons of diesel over that road.
Oh, I heard about that.
Right.
Yeah.
That happened over there?
Yeah, apparently. So
Oh.
that's it's still closed. So do not take that road right
Yeah,
now.
that
Why don't they
makes
just
sense
let it on
now.
fire?
I don't know. And also,
It's diesel.
Waze doesn't know that it's closed. So even still,
Did you report it?
I hit the
Good.
close thing and like it worked for a couple hours, but then it like went away. Because like
So-
even though I'm like a fancy cat crown guy,
Yeah.
road map editor dude, like it only keeps my edits for like a couple hours.
Yeah, but there's some people who use Waze. They must be in the hint. Like every single person for the last like.
And it's not signed well
4
either.
days.
Because like it doesn't say road closed anywhere. It just says right lane closed.
Oh no.
But the right lane isn't closed. All of the lanes are closed. Anyway, so that's my story. That sucked ass. But luckily I was in a lovely car. Although, man, my clutch is probably worse for the wear now after that much traffic.
Yeah.
I can only imagine. Yeah.
That's the only time where an automatic seems like
No,
something
but
you
I would
No,
have liked the
I'd-
E. The E would have
Yeah.
been good.
Yeah.
doesn't have
Direct
transmission.
drive or manual.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'd much rather.
Because my thing is like sitting in gridlock for the hour I had to because that jack off with his Maserati. I was still fine with it because first gear keeps me. We were talking about. I think it was on the podcast. So I was talking to Scott about this, but on the Mazda 5, that first gear is perfect for sitting in gridlock.
Yeah.
if
It's
you're
probably super
in-
slow at idle.
Yeah, and well, it's got like all the torque, so it's very unless I'm going like literally less than 2 miles an hour. That's the only time I have to push in the clutch. I can leave the clutch completely disengaged. I don't get
Even the
any
same thing with
shaking
the
or
M3.
jerking.
It's pretty close. Like
Yeah.
I don't need to use my throttle pedal at all. Like I can slowly let the clutch out, and then I start going this very slow walking pace.
Yeah, that's
I
what.
put the clutch back
that's
in,
what
and
the
I'm no
5
longer
does.
going the walking pace.
Yeah, and like second gear is good till about like 15 miles an hour. It's the slowest. So, but I mean that's the thing. Is second if I pop it in the second gear.
And when you let your foot off the gas, it brakes with the engine.
Yeah.
Automatics don't do that. It's so annoying to have to use your brakes in traffic.
Oh
True.
god, yeah, it's awful. But no, I mean the second gear on my car is just perfect for most traffic.
Yeah.
And first gear is perfect for gridlock. I love it.
Manuals, I think, are better in everything except like legit, like New York gridlock.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's the only time you should ever have an automatic.
No, you should never have an automatic, but you should have an electric car. if you
Yeah,
do
a
that.
direct drive. I'm sorry. I
There
should
you
say,
go.
yeah. You should have a direct drive for that.
Anyway,
even if
so
it's gasoline.
yeah, that's my horrible MNDOT story. I guess I don't have that many of them, but
Yeah,
that's-
we've got
the
20.
infrastructure is apparently struggling. I mean, I'm glad they're putting money into it, unlike the Michigan
Remember-
or something.
Do you remember when we had our budget surplus
Yes.
and they just didn't spend all of it on the roads?
No, they are, which is why
No,
everything's
they
under
they
construction.
did something else so that I can't remember. I think
Oh,
I
they're
gave
probably
it back
about
to
party
people.
hats or something.
Yeah, probably something stupid. But yeah, imagine a state like Michigan. Oh God, they've got no money.
But they have some cool stuff in Michigan. In fact, the next thing I want to talk about is in Michigan, so let's just use that as a segue.
Perfect.
Roadkill,
Yeah.
that awesome YouTube show that is now on a Motor Trend on Demand, which is dumb. They do an event every year called Roadkill Nights,
Yes.
which they get the
Yes.
city to shut down Pontiac, Michigan. They get the city to shut down Woodward Avenue, both directions,
Yeah.
the whole length of it, for legal street racing. So they turn the whole thing into a drag strip.
Hey, Motor Trend, thank you.
Yeah, if you
I-
want to
I
invite
just-
us to that, we would definitely come.
No, I just think that Motor Trend deserves a thank you for taking the expense of putting that on because
Yeah,
that's really
It's a
cool.
very cool event.
Thank you. That's a really sincere thank you.
Yep.
Anyway, Continue.
That's pretty much all I got with that one.
that's pretty cool actually. I wish
They've got a live stream going, and actually, I'll pull it up on the stream here right now. It's in a rain delay.
that's hilarious.
Nothing is going on right now,
That's
even though the event is going right now.
That's pretty funny.
Yep. So there you go.
But yeah, no, it's really cool that they're doing that. I feel like the thing is the key to fighting street racing is you just it's like drugs. Like, you have to regulate it. You don't outlaw it.
Correct.
You can't put a prohibition on really anything.
You tell somebody to not do something, you know what they're gonna probably then do?
Yeah,
that thing.
Yeah, they're gonna do that thing. It's
Yeah,
the big red button. Like, don't press the big
more
red
you
button.
tell people no, the
Yeah.
more they're gonna do it. Which is why like super shut off, like religiously abused people
Yeah.
become like atheists.
It just
and-
reminds me of a book that I have to read to my students every day called "Don't Push the Button."
Books aren't allowed on Motorcult.
Yes, they are.
I hate
It's
books.
a picture book, and
Oh, picture books are maybe
Yeah,
okay. As
and
long as
you-
there's no words in it.
and the main character is named Larry, and you push the button, and he changes colors, and then you push it a bunch of times, and then there's too many Larrys, so you have to shake out the Larrys, and then you gotta scratch his tummy, and then he turns back to normal, and then he's like, maybe you should push the button, and all the kids are like, yeah, do it again, and then you're like, no, the whole point is
So
don't push the button.
So with Larry, because Larry pushed the button too much, you had to snuff out all the extra Larrys,
Yeah,
and then the
you
sole
actually have-
surviving Larry, you had to perform ancient Chinese torture techniques to until he learned not
Where
to
did
push
this
the
just
button.
go just now?
I don't
think
know.
this is like the future. I feel like it's like
God.
those the fairy tales, the Grimm Mother Goose Grimm fairy tales.
sorry.
This is not the future.
No, but I mean, like, but back like when they were like a thing, like actually being made, they were considered normal. But now, if you actually read the originals, they're horrifying. That's what that book's gonna be.
This is too much of a digression. Talk about the other kind of future that involves electric cars.
Yes, actually, Elon Musk's future of taking Tesla back to private. Actually, that's it's actually I've been reveling in Schadenfreude because I use Robinhood to just do some like small stock trading, and I've been watching the Tesla stock go way up and then way down, and then like normally, but now it's been doing it like 10 times as much. It's been really fun because Elon Musk tweeted out that he was thinking about taking Tesla back to private if the stock price hit 420, bro.
Oh my goodness.
But I mean, that was.
So
his
how do you do
reasoning.
that? Do you have to buy out all the shareholders?
Yeah, that's what you do. You have to basically give all the shareholders a price that they won't refuse, and the leftover ones are on the board of executives.
So why the hell would they do that?
Well, because then you don't have to answer to shareholders. You can't be voted off the island.
Oh,
So something like the Model 3
yeah.
won't affect Tesla directly, and he can concentrate more on being innovative, which actually is
kinda cool.
kind of a good idea.
But I mean, that's gotta kind of hurt their capital.
Elon Musk, if you do not know, has unlimited money apparently.
Yeah, well, I mean, I get that that's what's happening, but like, is it actually unlimited, or is it just like he has an exorbitant amount and is using shareholder and
Elon Musk's money is like the sun's store of hydrogen. There's a lot. There's a finite amount, but it's nothing you really have to worry about, I think.
effectively unlimited?
Yeah, it's effectively unlimited.
Okay, that's actually a really good analogy. As weird as it is.
I mean, it is. And I think...
No, I mean, it is. Credit where it's due. That was a good analogy.
I have full faith in Elon Musk because every time he's come up with a stupid idea,
yeah, I mean,
it always works out. He's
and honestly,
always made it work.
like the product it's good. Like I would own anything they make.
Yeah.
Like, other than the fact that like they're forcing Model 3 owners into like the super high option, like long range all-wheel drive one, which I wouldn't buy.
Much care that much.
Anyway,
I wouldn't
Also,
get the 3.
You have to change the private policy.
The
on
privacy
it,
policy, yeah.
Otherwise, they listen to you.
Yeah, they do. That was on
take
NPR.
videos of where you're going. and
Yeah, they
where
do
you're
Yeah, I
all-
don't
going.
like any of that stuff, but like I do like the cars themselves.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is a lot. Everybody's like freaking out about that, but
I'm
what do you
not- I'm
expect
not
if there's
afraid
a
of that.
microphone in anything? You
Yeah.
you just assume somebody's listening.
Yeah.
It's like candid
They're
camera.
just gonna want to turn it off after I do so much mental damage to them.
No,
Exactly.
it's like this has
like,
been a
why
thing.
are you masturbating?
Why,
in the
why are you nude in
car?
traffic? Like, I don't know. It's one of those things. Like ever
Why
since
is that tub of lard coming out with a knife? Oh no! Oh God! He's raw.
but yeah, so that
Blacklist that
exactly.
camera.
No, ever since the 50s, people have been freaking out about this. Like back in the 50s, they had candid camera and stuff.
Dude,
which,
I know.
Yeah, but I
People
don't
are
know.
so freaked out about nanny state. I'm like, I do get the concern, and I don't want cameras like in my house.
Yeah.
But like, other than that, if like somebody wants to watch me drive,
Well, my thing is,
I actually
it's gonna
think
happen.
it's kind of cool
just
because
don't
then
care.
it's like Google Maps but live.
Well, I don't know. My thing is
then I
more.
can stream it.
There's so much effort
Periscope.
spent on people feudally fighting this. Like, why are
Dude.
you even fighting it? Just find
You
out a
can
way to
turn
get
it
around
off.
it. Just
You
get
can turn it off if you go into the settings. You can turn
just
it
get around it. Like that's all you have to do.
Do what like all the professors do with their issued laptops. Just put like a piece of shit over the camera and just like
Exactly.
plug the microphone with jelly beans or whatever the hell they do. I don't know.
Or like what Jeremy Clarkson did, where when he was in Japan, he was speeding in the GTR and he held up somebody else's face.
Bill Oddie.
Yeah, Bill Oddie's face.
Bill Oddie's racking up massive speeding fines in Japan.
Yeah, exactly, just like that. So yeah,
What
that's
a great episode.
that's what Elon Musk is doing. Is he's thinking about taking it back to private.
Well, I mean, that's kind of a questionable move, but like I get what you're saying. Like most of his moves seem to pan out pretty well. And I actually want to talk about one that they just did after announcing the fact that they might be going back to private is they poached Volvo's lead designer.
Oh,
And Volvo's making some real good looking shit these days.
you know, I was actually gonna say, if there's anything like about Volvo, it's how they look right now.
And specifically, I think the designer, the last thing that they did was the XC40, and yeah, it's a terrible crossover, but like, I'll pull up a picture of it. It's actually
aesthetically pleasing.
it's a pretty sexy machine. I mean, like that's not bad.
You know, if I were to design a truck, it would look kind of like that. It look like
Yes.
actually, if I was to design anything, it would look just like the new Isuzu Jimny. But I mean, that's very close. But I mean, that's a very very pretty
Kind
truck.
of butch. Yeah, I like it.
And it does kind of the whole basic design that the Range Rover Evoque does,
Yeah.
but it doesn't look as terrible as the Evoque.
This is much more modern, which we
Yes.
both like.
The only thing I get rid of is I'd make those wheels smaller because I hate giant wheels on SUVs.
And on electric cars, small wheels are very good.
Yeah, like smaller wheels are the way to go.
For sure.
Like,
For aero, rolling resistance, handling, everything, weight carrying ability, even.
Yeah. Like smaller wheels. I mean, I would just a wheel. I mean, I keep the same tire profile. I don't know.
Oh,
I feel
okay.
I feel like there's a happy place in between the Dodge Durango and that, where you have a reasonable sized wheel.
Would you also force the company to move their OE tire over to the Sumitomo HTR?
No, because then Sumitomo's would probably get either worse or more expensive. You leave that company alone. They're
Okay.
perfect as a.
Wow,
So-
it's just like insulting a kid at school with a parent nearby. Okay.
Yeah, no, I would not do that. However, Falcon, yeah, you're gonna get the full wrap. Yeah, you use Sumitomo's like fancy brand.
Anyway, wow. Okay. Yeah, I can't. I'm always expecting digression on these shows, but I'm never.
Yeah,
I'm never fully prepared for what actually transpires.
Neither am I.
I don't
Now-
think anyone is.
Speaking
Which
of
is why they listen.
Volvo and how I mentioned my main draw to them as a company is how they look.
Yeah.
Have you ever encountered a car that you really like the looks of, but just knowing mechanically that's just a giant pile of shit ruins the car for you?
Yes.
Yeah, like I've got a few of
Yes.
those. Like the Vanagon is definitely up there. The
Oh, man.
Subaru XT is.
I gotta think about this because
It just
it
makes
definitely
me
happens all the
sad.
time.
the Mazda Protege, Mazda Speed Protege, that one. It's not that it's a giant pile of shit.
Alfa Romeo 8C,
Really, that one's not good.
really mechanically bad.
Really,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's such a beautiful car.
One of the best looking cars I've ever seen in my entire
Yeah,
life.
I mean, but you could really cop out and say anything by Audi.
yeah,
ever.
their product does
they're
look
they're not
pretty
they're
good.
not really my style, but I will say that the
Um,
B5 A4s are
like-
some of my favorite looking cars.
Any V8 Turbo M BMW.
BMW. Yeah, those
I'm
are,
seriously stroking out over here.
yeah, no, those are definitely up there. But I think my number one is the Subaru XT.
Yeah.
Because that one I really
A
like.
lot
That,
of Subarus actually, like an older, like an 04, 05 STI. Like
but
if
those ones,
were-
those ones I just like because I'm not as insulted by its engine as you are. But
Well, still a terrible engine, but that's fine.
well, you can also put a 6-cylinder into it if you really don't like the EJ.
Even the EZ Series 6 cylinders aren't like the most reliable things in the world.
They're fine.
They're much better.
Yeah, I would easily swap in a 6-cylinder.
Anyway,
But no, as I said, the Subaru XT, not the XT6, because the XT6 was actually very good.
wasn't it auto only?
No, that was the only manual 6-cylinder Subaru you could ever get was the XT. It was the XT6.
You're
Oh. Did
thinking
my
of the
nose just whistle?
SVX.
The SVX, that's another one.
Oh yeah.
That one I really like, and it's that transmission. But the thing is,
You
it's
need
just
to.
that one. It's
Maserati
just, actually,
bi-turbo.
I will say that the SVX is opposite to that, because that's a car that's very cheap because everybody thinks it's terrible, but it's really not that bad because the only issue with that car is the transmission,
The automatic.
the automatic.
Yeah.
Didn't you say you could put a Forester manual in that thing?
Yeah,
Yep.
you can put any
A
EJ
legacy.
any EJ manual you can put into it, or if you are really lazy, EJ automatic, and actually a Outback XT Turbo automatic is like the perfect one to get, because then you have the beefed up automatic that can handle the torque of the 6-cylinder without breaking down. So if you really want to like keep the interior exactly as it was, if you're like that, that'd be the way to go.
And the shifter is very early 90s.
It looks like an automatic transmission shifter.
But
I would not want to keep that.
Maserati bi-turbo.
Yes, that is one that any Maserati from that era, because they're all the same car.
Let's just say any Maserati.
Yeah, I think Maserati's like, that's one of those cars that is the most of the era brand.
Yeah.
Because if you look at a
Oh, God,
Maserati from
yeah.
the 60s, like it's every 60s styling cue. If you look at one from the 80s, like a bi-turbo,
Yeah,
like that's the
that's
most
true.
80s car.
You can instantly identify the year of a Maserati pretty easily without ever seeing a title.
I feel like if you ever want to have like an automotive museum and you want to talk about automotive design over the decades, you can just have a room full of Maseratis and be like, this is a car from the 30s. This is a car from the 50s, the 60s, the 80s, the 2000s.
I feel like we're making insanely good points.
These are very good points. It's a true thing. But no, the one that actually made me think about this was the Volkswagen Vanagon.
Okay.
Because we had a really, really, really pretty Volkswagen Vanagon. It's 87. So
Those are water cooled, right?
or 86. Air-cooled or water-cooled, depending on the year.
Okay.
It was 86. You still had the slim chrome bumpers, which I usually like the big bulky ones, but those just propagate rust on the
Oh.
Vanagons because you can't get a brush behind the bumper to scrub it.
Oh.
And it's just like a flat area with no wind to like blow the salt away.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Oh.
But no, the little chrome ones, you can actually get a brush in there and clean. So I actually like those a lot. And it was a non-camper. It was a slick top, lower trim level with hubcaps on it, and manual transmission. It works perfect. But I just knew, I'm like, God, it's just got so many mechanical issues to it. The whole fuel system's a problem, and just everything's a problem. It's got CIS. It's awful.
Oh, God.
But I think that's one of those cars I would actually do a Subaru swap on that. I would totally get like a...
I'd do a Porsche swap.
Oh, yeah, you could do that too. Well, Porsche already did that. They already made a few.
Good. Yeah, we'll just do that.
Yeah, have you ever seen the factory Porsche Vanagons? Those are cool.
They're lovely.
No, I'd do exactly that van, but I'd put like an EJ22, the semi-closed head, so you don't have
Oh, yeah, that would never
gasket
break.
issues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll have 30 more horsepower than the factory engine,
Be
almost
just fine.
40 depending on what year I got. Yeah, it'd be perfect.
And I'm assuming you could use like the already available EJ adapter plate for that
Yeah.
transaxle.
Yeah, and they have like whole kits where you have like the wiring harness and everything, and you can get like the AC to work.
That's actually a pretty good idea.
Yeah, that is the way. That's the thing. That's what I like about EJ.
We're agreeing too much.
Yeah.
This is stupid.
No, that's what I like about EJ engines is they're very good for old Volkswagens.
They're not, though.
Well, they're not that good, but I mean,
They're
if you
they're
want,
better than old Volkswagen
that's
engines.
what I'm saying. Like, if you want something,
Which, let me just recoil on that. Me saying that the EJ
Is not a terrible engine.
better engine
Than
than a
something.
different Flat 4 is telling you just how bad the old Flat 4
they're not that
was.
good. I mean, they were called Nazi road oilers for a reason. It's because everything
my
leaked
God.
all the time.
I've never heard that
You've never heard that? Well, yeah, because if you think about it, it's an air-cooled engine, so everything expands and contracts
Yeah,
a lot.
it's everything's O-ringed.
Every
and,
gasket is cork, so it just pukes oil everywhere it goes. So yeah, that's why a lot of people do EJ swaps. I've seen them in Carmen Gias and stuff. I think any old Volkswagen.
Where do you put the radiators on an old Type 2?
So what you can do is you run like basically like a Civic half radiator,
Okay.
and then you just force it like way in front and underneath it,
Okay.
and you V-mount it underneath the engine. And it's a really weird location that you do it, but it actually is fairly effective, and you don't lose any cooling. The engines aren't as they're not as stressed, so very rarely you're going full throttle on it. It's not like trying to lug around a Outback with it. 100.
Well, I mean, the Vanagon, though.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's true. The Vanagons have a radiator in them.
Well, yeah, because those
so-
are offered as water cooled.
Yeah, those are fine, but I mean, like something like a Carmen Ghia,
Sure.
like
Yeah,
you're
those are
lugging
like
around like
1,600 pounds.
yeah, like
yeah.
it's like half the weight
For
So,
sure. Okay.
Yeah, I would also say any old Volkswagen, like any air-cooled Volkswagen, I will put up there for. I mean, I love air-cooled Volkswagens, but I just know what their engines are capable
Actually,
of.
Volkswagen too. Just like a GTI is kind of a cool car, but like,
That's
I wouldn't buy one.
I would say you can easily cop out and say anything made by Volkswagen Audi Group.
I'm gonna go ahead and cop out and just say that.
Yeah, I mean that's a brand that's very good at marketing and marketing only.
I wonder how much they spend day by day on marketing.
All of them. Well, they have to spend all the money because of
They probably spend
Dieselgate.
more than Daimler Benz even, and I mean they put like $1 million a day into R&D. So I don't know what.
Well,
they
that
put
makes sense.
into-
That's because Daimler Benz has been on the like the cutting edge of doing everything.
I feel like I don't see that much advertising from them, so they must just be resting on the fact that their product's actually pretty good.
Well, when you say Mercedes,
Yeah.
like you're getting like the most technologically advanced thing. Like everything in a modern car comes from a Mercedes. Airbags, the whole
Anti-lock
touchscreen, anti-lock brakes.
Double glazed windows,
Yep, the double glazed windows. I
auto
mean,
dimming mirrors.
that was Mercedes. I did not know that. Yeah,
Pretty sure.
there's that, the crazy suspension setups and stuff
Mhm.
like they had in the 190s.
Yep.
The high, I guess I can't really say the high performance straight six, but like they did do a lot with that in the 60s, more so than a lot of other brands did.
56. That 300 I saw going.
Yeah, but I mean like
That's
that.
like a 260 horsepower straight six.
Yeah, and I can't say that they were the first, but they really propagated that.
I would say modern first then,
Yeah.
because that was a pretty low displacement engine.
Oh, the self-driving in cars. That was a Mercedes thing. That was from the F700 concept for the S-Class. So,
Yeah, there's some things I don't like as much on there.
but I mean, like when I say everything, I mean everything. Like there's
right.
If
Well, I
you
mean,
wa-
the Germans were like first and foremost on like you were saying self-driving. Like they always
Yeah.
had like electric prototypes in like the early 90s and stuff like that.
and I mean
BMW had like fuel cell stuff in the early 90s. Even Mercedes had that back in like the late 80s.
I mean Porsche did it way back in 1903. So
And-
I gotta get the double bell.
Ah, damn it. And then we got the other electric cars from the early 1900s. I can't remember what they were, but
Yeah, there
we
was-
talked about
Yeah,
'em.
no, there's a lot of electric cars that in the early 1900s.
But harking back to fuel cell, Honda I think actually sells. Okay,
The Clarity,
they sell the
yes.
Clarity right
Yeah,
now,
the
and
Clarity,
that's
yeah.
offered in 3 flavors, right? You can
Yep.
get a plug-in hybrid,
Yep,
you can get a battery electric, and you can get a fuel cell.
correct. Yes.
Okay. Daimler is actually releasing a production hydrogen vehicle as well, so Mercedes is. And I don't know if they're actually going to call it this, but it's called the F Cell.
I don't like that name.
I don't like that either because it just kind of sounds like a prison cell where you get.
The fuck cell.
Yeah. Anyway, so this thing, I mean, hydrogen fuel cell cars are super cool. I don't necessarily know if they're going to be in the future, but I have a strong inkling that we'll see existing internal combustion engines be migrated from gasoline over to hydrogen.
I
at some point.
really like the concept of hydrogen fuel cells because that's where a lot of, you get everything you get with a modern car. You
You
get
do.
exhaust noise. You get
right.
better.
Me
you
too.
get-
Manual
you-
transmission.
manual
everything.
transmissions. You're gonna get your
But
fuel economy and all the good stuff.
storing, extracting, and distributing
That's true.
hydrogen is a huge problem because as I was reading this story, and the main reason I actually pulled this up isn't to talk about the F Cell because I don't care about it at all, just like the Clarity. It's to talk about the hydrogen filling stations because I mean these things you can't just go put it in the
Yeah,
rural
don't
area.
you-
It's like 700 bar pressure, and the tanks underground are just huge and they have to be
Don't
constantly
you have to wear,
regulated.
like, special suits to fill it up?
I
and-
think gloves.
Currently you do, but I mean, there's gonna be a way
They'll-
around it.
Yeah, they'll
I
figure
mean,
that out.
everything that I know about hydrogen cars was from documentaries I watched when they first discovered that
Right,
they could do
it's a
it.
lot better. I mean, you can
Yeah.
do it with no special treatment in like the California stations now because they have
Okay.
several of them there. But I mean, yeah, hydrogen. I mean, it's 700 bar. I mean, that's if you get a leak there.
Yeah, those.
Not only does it like instantly burst into flame, but it will cut whatever is part of you right next to it in half.
It's kind of like you've seen those videos about of like people like blowing up at like Iranian gas stations
Yeah.
because they use compressed natural gas for like all their cars.
Yep.
It's basically that. I think there's gonna
Except
be
way higher pressure.
yeah, except way higher pressure. You're right. I think there's gonna be a way for them to figure that out.
I think so too.
I think that it's either gonna be they're gonna retrofit the old infrastructure to fit it. Because I mean, it's 700 bar of pressure. That's a lot.
It is, but it keeps the fuel tank about the same size for even more range.
That is true. There's that. And I feel like you can probably retrofit either the propane tanks at gas stations or the actual underground fuel tanks and just replace all the stuff around that tank.
Yeah, I mean the whole item will have to be replaced, but
Yeah.
I mean once they get something that's a direct plug and play, basically,
So you don't have to like
and start
basically
making it in quantity.
rebuild. Well, I mean, one thing is like you don't have to rebuild the gas station from
With
the
that
ground
kind
up.
of pressure, unless they can figure out how to store it at lower pressure and still make it reasonable
Yeah,
to transport it at cost, I don't think we'll
I
see
feel
that.
like well, I mean, you could probably pressurize it like as it goes to the car.
You could, but I mean, you're gonna have a much bigger tank underground if it has to be stored at a lower pressure.
That is true.
So I don't know how they're gonna figure it out, but I'm
want
looking
that. I
forward
really
to
want
it.
that to be a thing.
Me too. I'd love to have a hydrogen tank in my E30 M3. Just like great. Like I'm glad that it's like not really polluting
about that.
anymore. That's fine. But I don't know. Again, they've been doing hydrogen concept cars and even production vehicles for the last like 20, 30 years. I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel like the exact same issues and the exact same reasons why it's not practical to own one
Well,
today are the same as what they were
You know,
20 years
for
ago.
the last what 100 and remember last about the last 100 years or
100
so,
years, sure.
they've been saying that electric cars weren't the way to go
Right.
because well, your battery dies, and then what do you do? Well, there's ways around it.
Right.
You know, you just have to figure it out. You have to sit there. I think once the petrol engine begins to go away,
Yeah.
that's where automotive enthusiasts are going to go. I think that you're going to have a split of people that want a driving experience versus people that want performance.
Do you think it's going to be mostly focused on retrofitting existing internal combustion vehicles, or do you think it's
You know,
going to
you
be a
can,
new
'cause
fleet of like new things
Have
that
you
we don't
have
know
you heard of
about
those
yet?
people that retrofit like V8s to run on HOO gas?
HOO?
Yeah, it's basically it's not quite steam, but it's basically it's a hydrogen oxygen mixed gasoline.
No, I haven't seen that.
Or gas, not
Yeah.
gasoline. But basically, what they do is you take something like a carburetor, you close it off from any atmospheric air, and you run essentially like a nitrous tank full of this gas into it, and that's how it runs. And it
Okay.
runs purely off of that, and it's got enough oxygen going to it that it will just you can ignite with a spark plug, or it'll self ignite in a diesel.
That's
So
kind of cool. I didn't know it would work in a
Trig
diesel,
Trig
too.
Trig messed around with that a little bit. I remember I went over to his house once in like high school. And
That sounds like a recipe for a large explosion.
he was sitting there. He had a mason jar full of water with 2 electrodes in it. He's sitting there with like goggles on, listening to jazz music, and he's got one of those flint and stone like igniters that you get like
He
for
reminds
the
me of
Bunsen
Kruger
burners.
from.
Yes, he is. He is
Oh my
from
God.
Archer. Yeah,
100% Kruger from
Yes,
Archer.
we walk in and Trig's sitting there. And as me and this girl walk in, and we open the door, and Trig lights the gas and goes. I go, Trig, what the fuck are you doing?
To just like flip up his 2-part goggles.
He goes, science.
I think we probably ought to have Trig back on pretty soon.
We absolutely need to have him on at some point. Hey, do you want to move on to the World Cup of Cars?
Yes.
Okay, so we are in the semifinals. Yes.
Great news.
So that means that each person here that's going to be fighting against each other has a
Each country.
chance. Yeah, well, I guess, is it semifinals? No, it'd be semifinals. Each of these countries have the chance to get, or I guess it's the quarterfinals, because you have semifinals would be, I got 4 cars here, because it's 1 on each side. So we're almost at the semifinals.
Great
Yeah,
math.
we're at quarterfinals, and I'm sorry. So I didn't mean to get everybody jazzed, but no, you're at the quarterfinals. So that means each one of these cars has a chance, a very high likelihood of going to the finals and being the best car in the world. So the first one we're gonna go up against they are the Axis of Evil, Russia versus Iran. Axis of Evil, if you're George Bush or something. I think they're both perfectly fine people. And great countries.
I think so too.
They both make fantastic cars. They've gotten this far. They've defeated Senegal.
Did you hear about the Space Force?
I don't want to talk about
Okay.
it. We already have a Space Force. It's called NASA. Just fund that one. It works fine.
I know.
So anyway, Russia. I'm going to elect the AutoVAZ 2101,
I'm
the
pulling up photos
original
here.
Lada Riva. Oh,
Okay,
yes,
so that is an
a
AutoVAZ
beautiful car.
2101 Lada 1200.
Yes. It's going to be that versus Iran's Zamyad Z24. Their
Which
sole
is right
car
here.
that has taken them this far. I'm pretty proud of them. These are both clones of cars that were made in not autocratic countries.
Interesting.
The Zamyad was based off a Mazda Porter pickup
Yes.
from 1975, and the Autovaz 2101 is based off of a Fiat 124, if I'm not mistaken.
124 is a convertible?
No, they had a hardtop. Was it the
Oh.
124 or the 120? No, the 126 was the Fiat Polski. 125, 123,
I don't know.
120 something.
It just says Lada 1200 at the bottom.
Yes. Oh, wait, 1 second. I have the Lada Riva Wikipedia up here. I can just look it up. It'll tell me in 2 seconds.
Anyway, so yeah, that car looks all well and good, that Vaz 2101, but look at that Zamyad.
Yes, but what you can also look at is the racing pedigree of the Lada, which has been
But
very
we're not talking
long.
about the Lada.
Yes, but it is the 124.
Wow, okay.
The 124 was a sedan.
Weird.
No, I mean the Zamyad's pretty cool. You can get them in diesel, which is cool. They're very, very reliable. They look properly good, and that's everything a pickup truck should be. I mean, that is a workhorse, and it looks good doing so. I like the stacked headlights on it.
It says it's available with a 2.4 liter engine with 95 horsepower. Gets 19 mpg, but it will carry 5,000 pounds in payload.
Yes, or you can
There's a
get
2800cc diesel option.
or compressed natural gas if you want to blow yourself up.
Yep. Wow. Yeah, that would have been a good idea. Oh, wow. Look at that brochure.
Yeah, wait, scroll down. I'm gonna look at the tiny fire truck. Show it to Jana.
Aww.
I like the tiny dump truck. This is a great vehicle.
Look at how versatile that Zamyad is.
That is properly versatile.
And look how good it looks in green.
That was yellow when you said that, but yes, it does.
I know. I
look-
was still scrolling. The trackpad on this MSI sucks ass.
Yes, it does. It's not an Apple.
No.
And it's a trackpad in general. So if you use a trackpad,
This
you should be
computer
shamed.
was $550. The MacBook was
Can
like
we-
$3,000.
What is that doing with 6 lugs?
It's based on a Mazda, and it can carry 5,000 pounds in payload. Do you know what can't carry 5,000 pounds? Whatever tires available in that size.
Yes, I was gonna say there's nothing.
It's
that'll
on like a
carry-
Geo Metro tire. I'm like, no.
I am curious what that tire is. 'Cause it's probably like a 175.
Let's ask Tucker.
It's like a 175/14 bias ply.
Probably, yeah, like a 175, 75, 14.
No, well, bias wise, you didn't have the height. That's only on a radial thing.
Really?
Yeah. Or if you
Oh,
look up like
wow.
a C-rated tire, you just get like a 175/14. Yeah. It's just whatever.
Are they all
height.
the same diameter?
Well, you get a 185, 195, 205, 225.
That's really dumb.
yeah. But you can't judge the height. So, yeah.
That's what she said.
I'm going to stand up for the Lada Riva,
I'm going to stand up for the Zamyad.
but I'm going to give you my reasoning for the Riva. Because I don't think we've actually had the Lada Riva go up against anything thus far. We've talked about other things. We talked about the Niva. We talked about the Gaz Volga.
But we're talking about the Vaz, not the Riva.
Well, the Vaz/Riva, the same car.
Oh.
The Riva was just the export name. Because what would you rather buy? Would you rather buy a Lada Riva wagon with the slightly larger engine? Or would you rather buy Autovaz 21013? I would buy the Lada Riva because that's easier to say. Or, I guess, if you lived in Cuba, it was called the Lada Sputnik, which is an adorable name because the Sputnik is the cutest satellite ever.
Oh my god.
No, but this car was made, I mean, from like the 1960s until 2012.
Yeah, great.
Albeit that the Z24 is still around. But this car's made forever. It has an engine that's more reliable than the original version. It's got an overhead valve, or it's got overhead valve engine, so it's not overhead cam. But these engines have been proven to run over 10,000 RPM for rally builds with, pretty good reliability.
I've played my summer car before.
That's not a Lada.
I know, it's a joke.
Yeah. But I think it's a really good car. I really like it a lot. And
That's fine. It's very significant. I'm sure it's very reliable. I don't care. The
it's very
Zamyad's
cool. Yeah, but this one's very cool. You can also get a rotary in it.
Did you not see the tiny fire truck?
I saw the tiny fire truck. I can guarantee you there's going to be a tiny fire truck Lada.
I don't
but
think
did
so.
it make it
Can we look
tiny
that up?
fires?
Yeah, I'm sure it did. Because the nickname the motto of the Lada Owners Club of North America is always half broken, never fully. Literally the name of the Owners Club.
Okay.
So
No, there was never a fire truck made on that Lada.
So there we go. It's made up.
Zamyad.
Zamyad.
No, 1 second. I need to confirm this myself. There has to
It
have
still
been.
doesn't matter because Jana voted for the fire truck.
Oh. Well.
There's a lot of Riva fire trucks.
Oh my God, there's a lot of Riva fire trucks. You are right. Oh, I should have went with the Riva fire truck now. That's
This is
such
all
a
your
cute
fault.
car.
There's nothing wrong with picking the Zamyad.
I know, but I just love the Riva so much. I've
Ah.
honestly, on multiple accounts, very seriously considered importing a Riva and then looked at how much it costs and said I can get a Suzuki Cappuccino for that much money. I just proved
Yep.
my point, actually. Or your point, actually. The Zamyad Z24 wins. I can't believe that this is getting...
It's such a good truck. I hope this wins.
It might.
I hope we can say that Iran wins the World Cup
It's
of
gonna
cars.
watch it end up being the Zamyad Z24 versus the Yugo GV,
Oh no, the GV or GVX.
whichever one. It
The
doesn't-
GVX one, I
the
think.
GVX, yes.
Which is not what our buddies at Overcrest bought. They bought a GV.
Yeah, they bought the slightly worse one.
Oh,
We should hunt down a GVX and just like try to one up them at their own game.
Do you think there are any of those in this country?
They did import them actually.
Really?
Yep, they did not sell very well because the whole point of buying a
Was the
Yugo
value?
was the cheapest one possible. So anyway, we're gonna move on
We
to
should figure out what Yugo was in
The GV.
Infinite playlist. Nick and
GV.
Noah's
It was a
Infinite
GV. It
playlist.
was an orange GV.
Yellow.
I
It
don't
had a
know.
beige interior.
You instantly just know what she's talking about.
Yeah, I already knew it because the only reason I saw that movie was because it had a Yugo and I didn't care about Michael Cera.
Michael Cera's awesome.
Okay.
So we're gonna move on to our next
Pairing?
finals. Yes.
Mhm.
It is going to be France versus old France. I mean Argentina. So I chose
Zing.
the one that you've been fighting for representing France this entire time.
Yep.
The Renault Avantime.
Yeah, that one's gonna
Yes.
win. So
Versus. I do need to say
I see
this.
the second thing on the screen.
the
it's
Persang
scaring me a
Bugatti
little
Type
bit.
35, which has a better racing pedigree than the Avantime.
Well,
And
that is
Avantime-
very true.
And it was more innovative than the Avantime.
But do you know what the Persang Bugatti does not have? Double hinged doors.
It doesn't have doors. It doesn't need
Exactly.
them.
No, the Avantime does need them.
Now, I'm going to argue your point for 1 second. The Bugatti Type 35 Persang is actually a French car. It's just made in Argentina. It barely qualifies as French. What are you looking at? Your mouth is agape.
Found a GVX.
Excellent. For sale?
It was for sale last summer.
How much?
Guess where it was?
Minnesota.
Rockford, Minnesota.
Fuck yeah. How much was it?
I'm looking. The all the links are dead. So it was a year ago.
Damn it.
Oh my god.
So actually, I guess since Argentina's Bugatti Type 35 is technically French and can't win because if it wins, France then wins, I may have to switch to the Denarg D200.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can pick whatever you want as the competitor, but I mean, the Avantime wins.
Well,
this
can we
one.
pull up a picture of a Denarg
Avantime.
D200 and a picture of the Avantime and have people choose? Because I'm going to make this as difficult as possible.
I mean, we can pull up the photos all you want, but no, they're not going to choose. Oh my god, that thing's adorable.
Yeah, see? That's a really cute car.
But it's, I'm going to take the bloated side modi picture, actually. That's
yeah,
better.
that is really the best view of that car is from the side. No, I need you to throw up a picture of a Renault Avantime,
I'm gonna.
and then we're gonna have Jana choose which one she's gonna put down.
Yeah, we'll have her pick.
The
but
adorable micro car.
I'm going to turn down her microphone just in case she picks the wrong one.
The adorable micro car that when I first showed it to her, she literally cried because it was so cute. Or the best minivan of all time. That is not it. That is
I know,
still a
I'm
lot of-
using this web browser, but the internet is made out of, like, flaming feces.
All right. Well, oh, that is so cute. Look at that.
I'm not going to argue. That thing is adorable.
That is
It's
a properly cute
adorable,
car.
But
No, I got
have to go with France.
Oh, that
man.
Avantime's so good.
I want
Avantime.
Janet. Will you look the Denarg D200 in the face and tell it that it doesn't win the World Cup?
Denard, I'm sorry, but you lost the World Cup of Cars.
On my
'Cause the
screen,
Avantime
my trackpad is fighting me.
My trackpad's also fighting me.
Fucking trackpads suck.
Mine's working fine.
Great.
I even have a mouse sitting over here that I could easily plug in if I had more USB ports.
Janet, look how sad this one is because it lost.
I know. I'm sorry. I'll just have to buy you.
Can you export? Yeah, you can export from Argentina. You just can't import to Argentina. So yes, ooh.
Janet could totally buy a Denarg, couldn't she?
I wonder if Brian from Top Rank has any contacts in Argentina, because those can't be worth anything.
That would be pretty great.
That'd be the best import ever. How much was this car? $7,000. Why? Because tariffs are ridiculous.
Oh yeah, we have a 25% tariff on Denargs.
No, I just think that it seems like something Argentina would do is make it prohibitively expensive to export.
Just because they want to keep all their adorable cars.
Yeah, like the whole country's made of
It's
these
a
things.
conspiracy.
Well, look how small it is compared to this
I was actually going to
man.
ask Janich about my uncle that owns a place out in Stillwater. Like, he mentioned a Z32 twin turbo a long time ago to
Yeah,
me.
we have them here.
I know, but like, they're too expensive.
You can probably get one for cheaper in Japan because they're
Right,
just,
that's
at
what
that
I'm
point,
getting
an
at.
old car. Yeah,
Like, I just want like and they're Fairlady Z's over there too. So like, if we could get like a '96 Fairlady twin turbo,
that would be quite cool, actually.
I think that would be a really, really cool thing to have over here. So
Yeah,
that's
we should
completely
we
off
should
topic, but
absolutely pester him about it.
well, anyway, the photo of the Avantime is still loading, but everyone that listens to this podcast either knows what that thing looks like, or they need to stop listening to this podcast.
and figure out what it looks like.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
then come back.
And then you can come back.
Yeah, you can come back. And then here's the Denarg still. So or
Yes,
wait.
that is. You know, I think even though that car didn't win, that car won in my heart. It's just so cute.
Oh, it has 10.2 horsepower.
What's it gonna do with all those horsepower?
Reverse is achieved by stopping the motor and reversing the rotation.
That is actually true.
At less than 8 feet long and 4 feet wide, parallel parking will be a good time. Find it
It'll
here on
be
eBay in
easy.
Argentina for $32,000 or best offer.
Jesus.
What?
What?
No way.
Is
no.
it 32,000 Argentinian?
Yeah,
dollars?
it must be 32,000 Argentinian.
I'm gonna
dollars.
look this up. 32,000.
Oh, find it here on Mercado Libre at 25,000 US dollars in Buenos Aires, Argentina. I don't think the Denarg is gonna happen. The Avantime like doubly wins now because those things are like
You
$3,000.
must be that one's
Dude, it
also
says-
flawlessly restored.
Yeah,
there
well,
has to be one
it is
in
gorgeous.
like there has to be one in like reasonable condition, like not restored like that.
Well, that is some research that we will have to do.
Yeah, I think we will. Our 32,000 Argentine. Oh my god, I hate this computer.
It says 25,000 US dollars in the ad.
It says here it's 1,000.
No, that's pesos.
And then here it says offered by the same owner, albeit for $7,000 less than last time around, which makes sense because it went from 32 to 25. But
Oh,
that means that it's
Argentine
hideously
peso.
overpriced.
Oh my god, I just want to throw this computer out the window.
Anyway, on that bombshell, the Avantime won.
1 second. What do we have? A interesting engineering.
No, we were gonna do the TRX wheels, but neither one of us bothered to research it yet.
Oh, that's right, because it was. Oh, actually, it's that was last year. Their currency has fallen off of a cliff. So
So
30,
now, ladies and gentlemen, is your time to
32,000
import
Argentine pesos.
a Denarg D200.
32,000 Argentine pesos is $1,095.
But it's not
But it said
Argentinian
US
pesos.
it
It said
said
US dollars.
Yes, I think now of all times in the world, as you said before, is the time to
import
import
a Denarg.
a Denarg D200.
D200.
I think that is going to be our bombshell for the day. Thank you for listening, and we will catch you on Wednesday for our next episode of the week. Thank you. Have a great evening.
See everyone in 4 days.